Hello and welcome to Devlog number 7. If you're new here, I'm Clemenades. I make a lot of game jam games and I'm currently working on my first official game that I'm going to release. It's a tiny little roguelite inspired by Downwell, only you go up instead. And if you'd like to know more, you can check out the other devlogs. They'll be linked in the description. Started on a new character style. I don't have this done exactly yet, but I'm going to show you guys anyway because I think he looks pretty cool. So yeah, here's the original character next to the new character. Tiny bit bigger, big enough that he'll still fit pretty well into the world that's already established and with the existing enemies, but it'll just be a little bit easier for you as the player to see the character. Still not 100% set on this, but this is the direction I think I'm heading. It's hopefully one of our new characters. They'll all hopefully follow that style more. I also started on a boss battle. It didn't go so well, so I don't have a whole lot to show you guys for the boss battle. Before I could start on that, I had to revamp a lot of my internal systems, like the camera system, and then I started getting the boss art into the game and started programming some states for the boss, and it wasn't until then that I kind of found out that the boss I had decided to go with, I didn't actually like him. I'll show you, this is the boss level. If we go up here, it'll trigger his first state where he jumps out of the ground. He's got some states. You can see he's looping between his hiding and his idle state right now. He also has one where he will attack and throw either little balls or little enemies out of his mouth at you, but he's not big enough, in my opinion, to be a boss. I kind of want that first boss fight to feel impactful to the user, and this guy just does not feel like a big threat at all. Gonna redo the art on this boss and make him a lot bigger, and then I'll come back to this at some point. I have also been working a little bit with another devlog YouTuber. Goes by the name of Riptide. Right here he is. He's also making his own indie game and has devlogs. If you guys want to check it out, it's called Bitlands. This is it right here. So I've been kind of working with Riptide, and I believe he's going to do the soundtrack for us. He's already sent me some really sweet music. Like it a lot. Very chiptune-y, very retro. Very excited to be working with Riptide. I've been revamping the enemies systems that allows me to be able to apply things like bleed and poison and other effects to the enemies pretty easily. Along with that revamp, we worked on adding an HP bar to the enemies. So when they take damage, now the plant has an HP bar above his head showing you how much health he has left. Just like the standard typical HUD you would see on most games nowadays. I love seeing those numbers. I like that I can now have like a build where I could see a bunch of bleed numbers coming out of the enemies, or poison numbers coming out of the enemy, or crit numbers even. Some people don't like these little HUDs above enemies, so I'm probably going to have an option in the menu to turn it off. We have a bunch of items now. I think we're up to about 20, and I have plans for even more. I've been working on their system, so they're stackable. You can collect multiple of the same items. For example, the crit item, you can get a bunch of stacks of that, and then your odds of critting will be higher. You could get a bunch of stacks of the bleed or the poison item, and the enemies will bleed for longer. They'll bleed more often. There's items to increase the damage of the bleed. There's just honestly more items than I can probably show off in this devlog, but I do want to show a few of them. I also sort of have revamped the shop and made it a little bit more like Risk Your Brain 2, how there's random chests on the maps, and if you find them and have the money, you can open them and a random item comes out. We're still gonna have the shop between worlds, but I don't know if I'm gonna actually physically take you to another room as a shop. I think it's just gonna be random chances of chests spawning. That being said, here's some chests. This would be bullets have a chance to poison enemies. Here is critical strike. This one is dealing damage, has a chance to heal you. The poison one I like a lot. Stacked it so that I have 100% chance to cause poison. And now if I shoot these guys, you'll see he's bleeding and he's got purple icons. He's poisoned for 3 seconds after you poison someone, and you can increase that timer with items. Only my bullets do it, but I am gonna have some items that will allow your jumps to also cause poisoning and bleeding. You can increase the poison damage. There's an item for that. There's items to increase your jump strength, how much stamina is recharged from killing enemies, whether bullets recharge. There's a lot of cool items. The other one I really like is the bleed one, so that looks a lot like the poison. These chests also appear randomly. They have a chance to be legendary, rare, common, uncommon type of chests. The further into the game you get, the better the odds of like a legendary chest appearing. Here is the bullets do poison damage item too, so we should be bleeding and poisoning. Okay, we only have a small chance to do poison. You see the red numbers, that's the enemy bleeding out. We found an actual random chest on the map too, which is great. Which gives us Armor of the Lost. This one's pretty cool. Enemies that hurt you bleed. This is an automatic one, so the second I take damage, the person that did damage to me will start bleeding. There, if you can see, he bled out. I think it's good for these spike guys as well, because sometimes they're hard to hit, right? Oh, crit. We can show you crit too. I like the crit one a lot. Now you should see a more of a bright yellow text, and that'll be the crit. So it's white when it's a normal attack, it's red when it's a bleed, and then it's purple when it's poison. Boots of Haste, these increase your movement speed. Leaf on the Wind, higher bounces off of enemies. Miriam's Wand. A lot of these names are kind of just thrown together, but as you can see, sort of the rarity. This is the most common, this is uncommon, this is a rare item. Head boops cause bleed. Power gloves, these increase the bullets damage. We've got, can't really see this one, but bullets that hit enemies recharge your stamina, and then bleed does more damage. That's another rare legendary item that's really good. Iron defense ring, chance that enemies bullets that hit you will miss. So when you get shot by the plant guy, there will be a percent chance that just misses you completely. Boom headshot, chance to critically strike. We've got more head boops, jumping on enemies charges more of your stamina bar. Poison does more damage. So all these are pretty solid items, and there's many more. I think when you get some stacked, like, let me show you guys. All right, so now all of my stuff has a very high chance to bleed, to crit, and to poison, and all the enemies HPs are kind of weak. I'm gonna have to bump those numbers up, but look at that. Wasn't that so cool to see like multiple afflictions hitting that guy? I think when we get like further on and they all have a bunch of health and they're super tanky, seeing these numbers get bigger and bigger as the level goes on, seeing like your status effects be applied over time is gonna be a lot of fun. I hope to sort of finish up this item system by the time you guys see the next devlog, so that there's guaranteed number of chests that drop per level, maybe a better way to open and interact with the chests. I got a little bit of cleanup work to do on it, but overall I'm pretty excited and pretty happy about the updates. I will probably be working on items again for the next devlog. After that, maybe we redesign the characters and maybe we work on the boss battle again instead. I'm not sure which of the two it'll be, but it'll probably be one of those two. That's about all I got for this devlog. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.